Year 6, my name's Mr. Dawkins. I'm going to be your head of year for Year 7 when you come in September. You also see a picture there of Mrs. Piercy, who is the pastoral assistant to the year group. She helps me do all of those things that need doing in order to keep you safe, happy. We answer all your questions and we work the year group between us. So you'll see a lot of us over the next 3 years in our assemblies, in your lessons, and generally looking after all the things that you need us to be looking after you for. Okay, so moving on, I wanted to talk to you about the school day. Our school day starts at 8:30 in the morning, so I would really like to be on site and in your tutor base ready to go at 8:25. So your tutor will then get you sat down and start taking the register at 8:30. So you need to make sure you're in school and on time every day. You have 5 lessons every day, apart from Wednesdays when you have lesson 42 in the morning, where you have 6 lessons that day. So the 5 lessons are an hour each with 5 minutes travel time between those. And like I said, on a Wednesday, you have your lesson 42 with your tutor, where you get to spend some extra time learning about some different topics that you might not cover in your standard lesson. So learning about citizenship in the community, being safe online. We do stuff on anti-bullying, things on racism, etc. So lots of really good topics. And the lesson 42 curriculum is fantastic. So we hope you get lots out of that. And of course, the college day finishes at 3 o'clock. So you finish earlier than lots of primary schools usually do. And with that, you can go home at the end of the day. We always say a top tip before you come to us is to time your journey to school. So if you're going to walk to school each day, you need to practice that, and you need to walk from your house to your school before you get there, so you know exactly how far and how long it takes. And if you're driving in the car with someone who's giving you a lift, then perhaps ask them if they can drive it before the very first day at the time you would normally do that. So if you leave at 8 o'clock, how long is it going to take you at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning to get to school in the car, so that you're not late and that you're there on time? Okay, crossing sites and across the bridge. The bridge at Exmouth Community College is pretty iconic, and by that I mean everybody who lives in Exmouth must have seen the bridge, and if you haven't been on it yet, then you would definitely have seen it, I'm sure, as you come down Withycombe Road, etc. The movement across the bridge is necessary to cross sites, and when you've got some PE lessons, your tech lessons, maths, and some science lessons will be on the different site to the Green Close site. So you will have to cross the bridge at some points through the week. If you have tech lessons and they're double lessons, that might mean that you are over on the other site for a bit of considerable time. We always say keep to the left on the bridge. So if you're crossing from Green Close to Gypsy Lane, then you're on the left, and the others coming the other way are on their left. Just like we do when we're driving on the roads, everybody keeps in the right direction. We don't bump into each other. Try not to rush or go too slow. Just go with the flow and you'll get to where you need to be. And certainly if you're going to walk in groups, make sure that your groups are in small groups, and try and keep to the edge and not the middle, because if you're in the middle, there's a likelihood that you might get bashed by someone coming the other way. So keep your wits about yourselves and you'll be fine. Just go with the flow on the bridge and it'll be all good. Okay, during your first few weeks at college, don't worry about getting lost. It happens to everybody, okay? Especially at the start. You will have maps in your contact books, in your homework diaries. There'll be maps around. People will be there to help and direct you. The other students, the older ones, have all been through it. They are helpful. If you ask them which way to go, they will help you. And there's always lots of staff out on the bridge and in the playgrounds between lessons that were able to help and direct you. Lots of staff are moving to their different lessons as well. So you'll see people around and they will help you and direct you in the right direction. And if you do get lost and you're late to the first lessons in the first few weeks, then just explain. Yeah, and it happens to everyone to start with, so don't worry about it, and people will help you, and teachers will understand. Just when you get there, just say, look, I'm really sorry I got lost, and the teacher will be fine with that. Okay. Just to remind you that in the first few weeks you will get tired. There is quite a bit of walking backwards and forwards. You have probably spent the summer holidays relaxing, so it can be quite tiring to start with to come back, because you're not just in one classroom, you're in lots of new classrooms with lots of different teachers, loads of things going on. So you might get tired, and expect that. All right, you're going to have to carry your stuff around in your bag. There's a lot more walking than you ever had in your primary school. So you want to think about maybe going to bed a bit earlier than usual, and trying to get a good night's sleep so you're ready for the next day. It's really important that you get your homework done. So try and find a space where you can work, whether that's in your bedroom or whether that's downstairs in a space that is quiet, but try and set a space up where you know you're going to be able to do your homework. You need to get into your homework habits so that you're having a real positive, regular time to do those homeworks. And remember, all your homework will be online on Class Charts, and we'll teach you all about what Class Charts is and how to use it and how to access it. So don't worry about that till you get to us, okay? A top tip is that we always ask you really to think about doing your homework on the night that it's set. So if you get homework set on a Monday, do it Monday evening so it's ready, okay? And that way you won't let other things build up, so you end up on a Friday with 7 or 8, even 9 pieces of homework that you haven't done, and they've all got to get done over the weekend when you might be busy doing things that you do with your family, playing your sports, or just trying to relax after a busy week at school. Okay, your bags and your books, they're really important, so make sure that you pack your bag the night before. It's no good rushing around in the morning trying to remember what you need for that day. Okay, get it all packed the night before, leave your bag by the front door or by your bed so that you can just pick it up, fully packed, ready to go, and you're good in the mornings. Okay, try and remember to only pack what you need for the following day. You don't want to put your PE kit in there on a Monday when you've got PE on a Wednesday. You're just going to carry your PE kit around all day for 2 days for no reason. So pack what you need for the following day. Do not bring loads of things that you don't need. Okay, your bag's going to be heavy enough as it is. Make sure that you get a sensible waterproof school bag. Yes, it rains in this country, as you well know, and you do have to cross sites and cross between lessons. So unfortunately, at times, you are going to get wet. So you're going to need to make sure that your rucksack or your school bag is waterproof so that everything in it doesn't get ruined, and try and make sure that it is dark coloured. And rucksacks are good because you can put them over both shoulders and they're easier to carry. There are no lockers at school. You have to carry everything, so make sure you've got what you need and make sure that it can fit in your rucksack. And a top tip, on your timetable, make sure that you've got a copy of it at home, so somewhere it's easy to see, maybe on your fridge, maybe in your bedroom, so you can easily read what you've got each day and pack your bag effectively so you know what you're doing. Okay, break times, they're important. Morning break is for 20 minutes, so you have period 1 and 2, then you have your break time for 20 minutes, and then you have periods 3 and 4, and then you have lunchtime. So lunchtime is 40 minutes long and starts at 1:20, so 1:20 till 2, and then you have period 5 in the afternoon after that. You're on your free time during the morning break, and at lunchtime you will spend that on the Green Close site, unless you have period 2 and 3 on Gypsy Lane site. So obviously if you have PE period 2 and you're on the large Astro, and then you have break time and period 3, you've got maths in the new maths block on Gypsy Lane, then you can stay on the Gypsy Lane site because you won't have time to cross the bridge and back again. So you can stay on that site only if you have periods 2 and 3 on Gypsy Lane. Other than that, you'll cross over and spend your lunch times and your break times on Green Close. Okay, so get used to that. And of course, hot and cold food is available both break and lunch time. And a top tip is to try and eat something at break, because lunch is a lot later than you're used to at primary school. 20 past 1, that sort of stuff. For some of you, that's quite late in the afternoon to be eating for the first time, especially if you've got up and had breakfast at 7 in the morning and then you don't eat anything until 1:30. That's a long time. So try and make sure you've got a snack or you've got something that you can eat at break time. Okay, school shoes and uniforms. Really important to know that you cannot wear trainers. The only time you can wear trainers, of course, is for PE lessons, and that they must be black and that they are polishable. So they're a leather type material and they're waterproof. It's important they're waterproof because if they're just a material type shoes, when it's raining and wet and you're crossing sites and crossing between lessons, your feet are going to get soaking, and that's really bad. You don't want wet, cold feet for the whole day. When it comes to the grey skirts and the trousers, for both boys and girls, you can only get those from the official school suppliers. So you've got to make sure you get them from there so that they are the right coloured grey. You can't get them from other school suppliers or from different types of shops because they're just not the right colour or the right style. So from the official school suppliers only. You need to wear a white button shirt, so a standard white shirt with a collar, not a polo, so not a white polo shirt. You can't wear those, they must have buttons all the way down the front. And your tie is a striped tie, and your colour for the year 7s in September is sky blue. Okay, so you're sky blue. Continuing on with the uniform. We're expecting you to wear the Exmouth Community College jumper, which is a standard jumper, and that your tie is worn really neatly done up, and that your top button is done up on your shirt too. All of the logoed items are available in the uniform shop and the official suppliers. You're not allowed to wear makeup. You cannot have any jewellery on except one single stud per ear. And you are allowed to wear a watch, but your watch cannot be a smart watch. So make sure that your watch isn't one of those that links to your phone and that it can take pictures or receive text messages, etc. Just a standard watch, please. No specialist media watches. Your hair needs to be of a natural colour, so if it's dyed, it needs to be dyed with a natural colour, so no reds or greens, anything like that. And you can't have a grade 1 or lower when you're having a clipper cut, and you're not allowed to have tram lines. Okay, so can you just make sure that you're wearing the correct uniform, as it creates a really good impression and it looks the same for everyone. I think it's really important to talk about mobile phones because in this day and age, lots and lots of people do have them and use them regularly. So it's really important that you know that you can have a mobile phone when you're coming to school, but it gets switched off and put in your bag before you arrive through the gates. You cannot take it out of your bag and you cannot switch it on during the day or use it at all. If you do use it inappropriately or you're caught with it out of your bag and it's on and you're using it, then it will be confiscated, and that first confiscation will be for a whole week. If you then get caught with it a second time, then you will not have it for 6 months, and we will keep it in a safe and we'll hold on to it for 6 months. Okay, and so that's an expensive piece of equipment to have confiscated, so please do not bring it to school unless you really have to, and if you do bring it to school, then you make sure you switch it off, it stays in your bag, and you do not use it throughout the day. If at any point you feel like you need to contact somebody, then you go to the office, either my office or you go to the Key Stage office, and you ask someone if you can either use your phone in the presence of an adult, or that you actually ask us if we can use our phones and we contact whoever you need to. Okay, it's your risk if you take that out of your bag, if you use it and you're caught with that, then if you have it confiscated or if you lose it or it gets damaged, that's your risk and not the responsibility of the school. We always say try and maybe use a cheap phone that you're not worried about losing or breaking, or just leave your phone at home if you can. If you need to know the time, then buy a watch and use that instead. Okay, communicating with the college, and this is probably mostly for parents and carers, but again, most written messages will be put in the homework diary, so you can write a message to your tutor or to your teacher explaining things about why you haven't done homework maybe, or that you're not maybe feeling very well, or you've got to leave school at a certain time. Use that homework diary to communicate with the school. School will do the same the other way back. If it's really important, then make sure that you email the tutor or the teacher or the school, and we can pass those messages on and create a really safe environment for that information. You can always email me. My email address is gavin.dawkins@exmouthcollege.devon.sch.uk. Okay, it's really important to know that if you want to contact your child or contact the school quickly, then get in touch with reception. Try not to get in touch with your child directly via their mobile phone, because if it goes off in lessons, then it is going to be confiscated, I'm afraid. We have a really good system at school about getting in touch with students, so come and give us a ring, give us an email, and we'll do our very best to make sure that that message is either passed on or that you are able to talk to your child as and when you want to, of course. A bit of a tip there is that tutors check emails a lot more regularly than they can phone messages, because every teacher and tutor has a computer on their desk, but they don't have a phone on their desk. So it's a lot easier to email teachers and tutors with messages rather than actually phoning. Communication is really key, and we pride ourselves on making sure that we do communicate effectively with everybody involved in the school. Teachers do write messages in your homework diary. I write messages in there for students and parents to see. Lots of letters for praise, or if there's any concerns, will be sent home as necessary. And also, if your child is sent to Ready to Learn RTL for whatever reason, you will have a text immediately to say that that has happened, and then you're able to action it if you would like to. We may also text you about lateness or absence, and we will get in contact with you with any concerns that we have regarding your child. And you can access lots of data online if you would like to use things like class charts, etc. We talk about that a lot with regards to making sure the child and yourself is able to see all of that information as and when you want it. When it comes to communication, we really do try to make sure that we get it right. If you're not happy with anything, you're upset, child's upset, then please get in contact with me in the year office, and I'll do what I can to help out and get things sorted. Similarly, if you change address or your home number is different, if there's any health issues we need to be knowing about, then please get in touch and let us know so that we can help and make sure that everybody is safe and happy. It's really important that we check the homework diary each day, and that parents and carers are signing it weekly so that we know that you're up to date with that and you know what's going on. So that's a really useful way to communicate with the tutors and with the teachers. Okay, so when we're talking about the academic progress of our students, it's really important to know that we use mixed ability groups in year 7. These are in your tutor groups to start with, and is the most common way that the classes are organised. What we try and do over the tutor group allocations, as you'll probably well know, is get a real good balance between gender, so a boy-girl split, and then we start looking at all the other different factors that fit a tutor group together, so that we have a really nice balance in terms of abilities and personalities, etc. It's one thing that we really do sort of put a lot of effort and time into. Once the students have been into those lessons for a while, and the teachers get to know each of their students, then especially maths, science and English, they start to set during that first term, and they start working in ability groups that we can really target the learning and make sure that it's effective. We do have a CATS test, and certainly this year that's going to replace the SATs information, since we didn't sit any SATs. Teacher assessments and your Key Stage 2 scores from your primary school teachers will all be used to help set students into the appropriate groups to make sure that learning is as effective as possible as they go through that start of year 7, setting the foundations for the rest of the Key Stage 3 progress. We have a really robust reporting system here at ECC. Each term we get a progress report, which gives your attainment level, so where we think that you're achieving, and how much effort you've been putting in over that term. There's also a parents' evening, which you as students should try and attend. It's really important that you get to hear all the things that your teachers want to say about you, and someone from home should come with you, so that can be a mum, dad, carer, grandparents, whoever it is that looks after you should come along too, so that you can have a really good conversation with your teachers and your tutor around the progress that you've been making. And it's probably a good idea to read through your report closely at home, so that you can then maybe form some questions for parents' evening, and ask the teachers directly what you want to know. Attendance in school is really important. Okay, students aren't allowed off site at any time throughout the day unless they are collected by parents or carers, and they need to be signed out. We don't just let students walk off site, and the school is kept securely locked in order to keep our students safe. If you are not in school and we haven't been contacted, then a call or a text will be sent asking where you are, to make sure that we haven't missed anything there. And if anybody is off ill, or there is other reasons why you're not in school, then please let us know. And all normal LEA sanctions do apply within our school, and we need to make sure that we're adhering to the government guidelines. And unfortunately, holidays will only be authorised in exceptional circumstances, as and when those requests are made, and there's only the senior leadership team that are able to authorise holidays. It's not something that the heads of year are able to do. So there are some forms that need to be filled in, and they will have to be sanctioned by the SLT. So that just leaves me really just to say good luck and best wishes for the summer holiday. And I really look forward to seeing you all in September. I'm sure that we'll be glad to get back to school and start this new exciting adventure together. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So thank you for listening today, and I really do look forward to seeing you all very soon. Take care.